I am not teaching, I am public learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test part 522, probably, while doing morning stretching. And if you participate in the morning stretching, we set your own risk. Now I want to go a little bit about the Presbyterian Church now first. In Scotland, the national church is the Church of England, which is the Presbyterian Church. It is governed by ministers and elders. The chairperson of the General Assembly of the Church of Scotland is the moderator, who is appointed for 1 year only and often speaks on behalf of the church. There is no established church in Wales and Northern Ireland. Other Protestant Christian groups in the UK are Baptists, Methodists, Presbyterians and Quakers. There are also other denominations of Christianity, the biggest of which is Roman Catholic. So we could say, in our presentation about the Church of Scotland, that the National Church of Scotland is the Church of Scotland, that it is a Presbyterian church, that it is governed by ministers and elders, that the General Assembly has a chairperson who is the moderator and who is speaking on behalf of the church and is selected once a year. We don't really understand what all this means. This seems to be very detailed, a very strange presentation. Maybe because we don't understand what it means, or I don't understand it. So we're not going to prepare a presentation about the Church of Scotland. We try to remember it all for Life in UK test, but we're not going to do it in a way that we can present it. Now, the patron saints' days is the next thing. There are England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and each of them has a national saint called the patron saint. And each of them has a special day. Only Scotland and Northern Ireland have a patron saints' days as an official holiday. Only Scotland and Northern Ireland. Although in Scotland not all businesses and offices will close. Events are held across Scotland, Northern Ireland and the rest of the country, especially where there are a lot of people of Scottish, Northern Irish and Irish heritage. While the patron saints' days are no longer public holidays in England and Wales, they are still celebrated. Parades and small festivals are held all over the two countries. Okay, we're going to prepare now a little presentation which we can say all four of them down. The United Kingdom has 4 big regions. Let's start with that as an introduction for the people who don't know what comes Scotland. These are England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. And each of these 4, we also started with that, has a patron saint. And these are for England, St. George, for Scotland, St. Andrew, for Wales, St. David, and for Northern Ireland, St. Patrick. And each of them has their celebration day. And that is in England, St. George, the 23rd April. Scotland, St. Andrew, 30th November. Wales, St. David, 1st March. And Northern Ireland, St. Patrick, the 17th March. And in Northern Ireland and in Scotland, these days are official holidays. Yes, official holidays. Okay, that's all we're going to say to it. Okay, I have a second camera, which I'm going to start now. And there I try to save it all again for the people who look for it, so we can have it done. And we also have our separate video, and we can learn it again multiple times because now we're even learning it in a presentable way. The United Kingdom has 4 big regions. England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, and each of them has their own patron saint. These are for England, St. George, Scotland, St. Andrew, Wales, St. David, and Northern Ireland, St. Patrick. And each of them has their own celebration day. So in England, St. George, it is the 23rd April, Scotland, St. Andrew, that is the 30th November, Wales, St. David, the 1st March, and Northern Ireland, St. Patrick, the 17th March. And in Northern Ireland and in Scotland, these are official holidays, these days. And that is according to the Life in UK Test Handbook, page 68. I'm thinking maybe I should have repeated it again, just for clarification. These are the 4 dates. And also I'm not completely sure if I maybe said something wrong at one point. So if we could do it again. Let's actually do it again. Let's try it. The video was good, but let's try it again. The United Kingdom has 4 big regions, and these are England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. And each of these 4 big regions has their own patron saint. These are for England, St. George, Scotland, St. Andrew, Wales, St. David, and Northern Ireland, St. Patrick. And each of these saints has their own patron saint's day, so a day of celebration for the patron. And these are for England, St. George, the 23rd April, Scotland, St. Andrew, the 30th November, Wales, St. David, the 1st March, and Northern Ireland, St. Patrick, the 17th March. In Northern Ireland and in Scotland, these days are official holidays. So England, 23rd April, St. George, Scotland, 30th November, St. Andrew, Wales, St. David, 1st March, and Northern Ireland, 17th March, St. Patrick. And that is according to the Life in UK Test Handbook, page 68. I should have stick to the order. I messed with the Wales, I said them differently. Is the video better? I think if someone actually tries to write the dates down or so, it's better. It's more clear, a bit more better break, as someone really comes for the dates. Yes, the information is better transmitted. It is longer and not so easy to understand if it's half absent watched. But if someone actually comes for the information, what are the 4 regions, the 4 dates, and the patrons, a little bit better. So I'm going to stop the second camera. And we will do now morning stretching. If you're here to start with, I think we do them actually, we have enough for, except for Boxing Day, for each and every one of them. We will then start with Christmas and say what Christmas is. So if you're here to learn about Christmas for the Life in UK test, you can go directly to the next video. Otherwise, we will do no morning stretching, and if you participate in that, sit here on this. Leaving the legs standing a bit of and shoulder wide apart, and we're going back with the shoulders, up, in front, and down. So forward shoulder circles. Back, up, in front, down. And one last time. And now backwards. Front, up, back, and down. And last time. And now, breathe in and lift the shoulders up. And breathe out and let them fall down. Breathing in. And again in. And out. Again in. And out. One last time. Breathe in. And out. Now the upper plug up. Breathe in and lift the arms up. And now reach high and pretend to take an apple hanging high on an apple branch, to turn it a bit around, and then to rip it off. Just keep normal breathing. And the last 2. And now we're doing the shifter. The legs are standing wide apart. We have the arms up to a T. Breathe in. And out. We're shifting just the upper part of the body over to one side. Again, in into the middle. And out, over to the other side. Breathe again in. And out into the middle. Again in. And out, over to the other side. Breathe again in. And out. Again in. One more time. Out to the first side. And again in. out to the other side, in at the middle, and out we're doing the buffalo fighting its hangover. We're leaning onto our knees and we're breathing in, and out we're bringing one shoulder in front. Bring it in and shoulder back, and out to the other shoulder in front. Bring it in and the shoulder back, and out the shoulder in front. Bring it in, and out the shoulder in front. In and the shoulder back, and the last one, shoulder in front, breathe out. In, and out. Breathe in, both shoulders back, and out, and we're hanging down. And breathe in, and out, go over to one leg. Breathe in, out over to the other leg. Breathe in, and out into the middle. Now breathe in, and out we come slide up with the round back, making the top backwards, shoulder. Now we're doing the colored pose. The toes are pointing to the outside. We're having an ulnar limb space between the heels. Then breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out and we're sinking down and we're placing the elbows against the insides of the knees. And now breathe in, straighten up the back. And out we're coming with the back up. Breathe in. And out we're going down. Breathe in and straighten up the back. And out we come with the back up. Breathe in. And out and again down. Breathe in and straighten up the back. And breathe out and come slowly in one straight line up. And the arms again down. And next exercise is seahorse pose. Having a good standing leg, the other leg with the heel on top of the knee of the standing leg. Do this only if you can do it without injuring yourself. Breathe in. And out and we're going down. So the Senate had education and training, economic development and housing, and health and social services. And the Scottish Parliament had civil and criminal law. You have to start with that, with all of the things unusual. No, learn it in that order. Let's learn it in that order. Civil and criminal law, health, education, planning. Civil and criminal law, health, education, planning, as if we would remember it in 10 years. Civil and criminal law, this is differently, so that's to know. Civil and criminal law and additional tax raising powers. But health, education and planning. Health, education and planning. Civil and criminal law, additional tax raising powers, health, education, planning. Coming up again. And we're doing the last exercise, closing exercise, next right arm, we're breathing in. And out. Again in. Out. Breathe in. Out. Again in. Out. Last one, breathe in. Out. Again in. Out. Now breathe in and close the legs. And out. That was morning stretching. I thank you very much and until the next time.